Peace, 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 family. Public enemy number one, targeted in America, gang stalked in America. And today we're gonna break down the movie, right? We're gonna break down the movie Fallen, the Denzel movie. And I'm gonna explain to you guys why this movie is really a documentary on gang stalking. The movie starts off with Denzel going to visit a guy that he got busted, who was a serial killer named Reese. If you know, if you watch if you're a fan of Law and Order SVU, Reese is Stabler from SVU, right? So when we go, and let me stop right here for a second. I hear a lot of TIs saying that we did something wrong to be in this program, or we were whistleblowers, or you know what I'm saying? I had somebody in the comments the other day say this, a lady named Jennifer Glenn. She said we're in the program because we were whistleblowers. It's something we said or something that we did, right? And this movie right here proves all of that to be false. And I believe that. Also, this movie was more on the spiritual plane of things, but I want to keep it, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it on the a little bit of both, the physical plane and the spiritual plane, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because and the reason I want to do that is because like there are laws being broken against us on the physical plane. So we have to, you know what I'm saying, take that into consideration too. And, you know, not just go into a movie, but this is a documentary. Everything in this movie is a documentary on gang stalking. And the reason I say that is really what happens when you're being gang stalked, except that they tried to make it a spiritual movie where it was spirits going into different people, as opposed to a government organization influencing people to gang stalk you, right? Let me get back to the movie. The movie starts off with Denzel going to an execution of a guy named Reese that he arrested. Denzel was this top cop, you know what I'm saying? The best in the force at the time, like a lot of TIs are. We excel in our professions and stuff because we're hard workers. We're very diligent in our works, you know what I'm saying? And we're committed people. Denzel was the top cop in his his station, or whatever you want to call it, right? He goes to visit this guy that he got arrested because the guy requested to see him. It was one of his last requests, right? And the guy grabs Denzel's hand through the bars, and the look on the guy's face, on Reese's face, it was a look like, you know what I'm saying, he felt something, or he felt something that he hadn't felt before, or that was different. You understand what I'm saying? So after that happens, right? You know what I'm saying? The execution happens and everything. And after he passes, you know, after the execution, Denzel start to have these, you know, crazy things happen. Like, you know, he walking by people, and, you know, certain people he made eye contact, just made, you know, was just looking at him crazy and stuff like that. Gang stalking. Okay. And it went from, and now Denzel was a righteous man in this, right? I'm going to another point that I'm gonna make that proves that this was a documentary on gang stalking. Denzel, after the Reese execution and stuff, you know, they had him on the news, and, you know what I'm saying, they was giving him a lot of praise and stuff in the city that he was in. And the cops on the force were giving him a lot of praise and stuff because he was the top cop. Top detective, rather. So they go out to drink some beers. He goes out to drink some beers with a couple guys. One of the guys was like, he had a problem with Denzel because he was kind of bothered by him, rather. Let me say that. Because he said, he told Denzel, he said, you know, word around is that you don't take no cream. Cream meaning money. You know what I'm saying? You don't take no money under the table and stuff like that. So Denzel was like, no, I don't take any cream, but I don't have any problem with anybody else, you know what I'm saying, you getting their money. You feel me? And after that, him and the guy were cool because he was like, well, you know what I'm saying, at least he if he righteous, but he ain't got no problem with nobody. He ain't no hater. You feel me? Now, let me stop right there. In this program, a lot of us are in this program because we chose not to partake in these groups. You feel me? We chose not to. We chose to be take the loner path, or take the, you know what I'm saying, the the loner path, rather. You know what I'm saying, going our own way, as opposed to saying, you know what, I'm gonna join the group and survive that way, or whatever the case may be. And look, based on the simple fact that, because we wouldn't be in this program if we were a part of these groups, right? I don't really know many people who are. I don't know anybody who's gotten on here that I've seen who's a TI that said, I'm a part of this group and they've ousted me, or whatever the case may be. We're in this program because we have a individual mindset, as Denzel did in this movie, right? You know what I'm saying? He was a righteous man. I'm sure before I continue the story on the movie and breaking the movie down, I am sure that even though he was a righteous man, they didn't go in depth and stuff like that as far as his lifestyle and prior to. Look, we all have things that, you know what I'm saying, in our life, that we're humans, but nothing to the extent that these people have. And if any of us have done anything, that's what the prisons are for. We would be incarcerated. Like in this movie, in this documentary rather, I think that we're being targeted because we are the righteous amongst the wicked. That's just my take on it. Now, this is playing out in the it's some spiritual stuff that's playing out on the physical plane. Now let me get that right. I'm not just speaking on, like, you know what I'm saying, like on some spiritual stuff, like it's just on the spiritual plane. It's some spiritual stuff involved. Like, we are you know what I'm saying, righteous people amongst the wicked. And it's like Denzel. He didn't do anything wrong to be targeted. The only thing he did to be targeted was, you know what I'm saying, be diligent in his works and just be a righteous man. That's all he was on. And righteous don't mean that you ain't, like I said, righteous don't mean that you don't have any flaws, or you just, look, I think we all would say Dr. King was a righteous man. But allegedly, he was a womanizer. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly now. He used to cheat on his wife and stuff. But I don't think that any of us would say that that takes away from, you know what I'm saying, him being a righteous man. Also, another person who from Atlanta that was a righteous man in my city, you know what I'm saying, Dr. King's friend. Can't think of his name at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Hosea Williams. Hosea Williams was a righteous man in Atlanta. Like, I think he's the biggest philanthropist and humanitarian ever in Atlanta, in Georgia history, for real. Like, the reason that people get fed on holidays and stuff like that is because of him, right? So, but Hosea Williams was, you know what I'm saying, had a drinking problem. Everybody in the city knew this. You know what I'm saying? But he still was a righteous man. Like, we all have our flaws, right? But believe this, in the system that we live in, if we did something that was so wrong to be in this program, we would be incarcerated. America has proven to us that they have no problem locking up American citizens. They have proven that to us, right? So let me get back to the movie, right? Denzel, he started being targeted, right? People start coming out of nowhere, just targeting him on the streets. And just like many of us, like, he was tripping. He was like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? Every time he left the house, he was being targeted. You understand what I'm saying? He was being harassed on the job. Like, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? And he started to certain things started to happen, right? That started to really take away from his job performance. You feel me? Because the whole goal of the targeting was to distract him. And he started to get distracted because he was trying to focus. He had to focus on, why am I being targeted in this manner? Check this out now. Another thing we're gonna substitute. In this movie, everyone who was targeting him, all of the perps, all of the gang stalkers, were singing this song. Time is on my side. Yes, they were singing this song, right? We're gonna substitute that for coughing. We're gonna substitute that song for the color red. We're gonna substitute that song for the color blue. Okay? We're gonna swap those things out. This is a documentary on gang stalking, except that they just changed, you know what I'm saying, small things to make it seem like this is a movie, but this is a documentary though. Okay, we're gonna substitute that. There were times in this movie where like one scene, for instance, he was in the precinct and everybody, like the spirit, the Azazel started to get into different police officers and stuff, and everybody started singing this song, targeting him, right? Just as if we were in the grocery store and people walking by coughing and doing stuff like that. And Denzel was like, and like as soon as the spirit get out of them, they would say, "Shit, I don't know. I wasn't singing no song. I don't know what happened." It's just like this program rolls out on us, right? The same exact way. If you ask people like, "Man, why you coughing like that?" or "Why you doing this and doing that?" they oblivious to it. I don't know why I'm doing it, right? Am I right? It's the same thing. If you go look at this movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And in the movie, Denzel started to do some more research, right? He started to do more research on like because the spirit started to leave him clues and stuff on why he was being targeted. And you know what I'm saying? Like he left him a clue about the cop that was before him that experienced the same thing and met his demise like through his targeting. You feel me? And so Denzel went to the found the cop that died through getting gang stalked rather. And guess how he died? It was suicide. You feel me? It was this whole movie is nothing but a gang stalking documentary. The cop died through suicide, right? What does that sound like? What they want all of us to do. So he finds the cops. He found the cop that died through suicide, which was a great cop. You know what I'm saying? Great character. And you know what I'm saying? A righteous man. You know what I'm saying? So he finds his daughter. His daughter says, she breaks it down to him and she like, look, he's saying like, you know, what happened to your father and stuff. And she said, well, look, I know what it says in the paper. Just like I told y'all, if you do something, how they gonna write it up? She said, I know, she said, I know what the paper said. She said, well, what people say, but my father was a great cop. He was a great cop. You know what I'm saying? Just like you, he was, you know, a top cop. You know what I'm saying? The best of the best. And out of nowhere, he just, you know what I'm saying, went rogue and, you know, started doing all this crazy stuff. Everybody who says tells a story about his father has the same story, right? By her father rather has the same story. So Denzel, Denzel said, well, you know, what's the reason that I'm being targeted like this? Then what's the reason that, you know what I'm saying, this is happening? And she said, well, did he touch you? And he was like, well, before I walked away, he grabbed my hand. And she said, he grabbed your hand and realized that he couldn't get in you. He realized that, you know what I'm saying, your spirit was different. So that's when he was like, you know what I'm saying, start targeting you. And let me stop right there. I believe it's the same way with us. Now we looking at it like, we're looking at it like, it's something that we've done or someone we violated or whatever. I think it's just simply that throughout our life, people have been that's why going back to what I was saying. Now I'm stop right here for a second. I'm at the point right here. I'm gonna put a bookmark right here, right? I'm at the point right now where I'm talking about him. Well, she said that the guy seen, felt his righteous spirit, basically. But I spoke in a video, one of my prior videos. I said that we've been targeted since birth. I think that. Just like that, they said they felt his righteous spirit, right? That he was a good man, and he felt that spirit felt that it couldn't convert him. You dig what I'm saying? It couldn't make him do evil acts. So what that spirit do? Made him a target. You feel me? And I feel the same way about some of us. You see, a narcissist and like a psychopath, they base all their dealings on how you make them feel. You feel me? Not like, you know what I'm saying, where how a healthy mind thinks. A healthy mind thinks is like how you affect others. You base your thoughts on how you affect others, right? They base their dealings on who they're gonna deal with based on how you make them feel. You feel me? I don't want to get too far off, but I'm going back to the bookmark. Excuse me. DEW's in this motherfucker. But I'm going back to the bookmark where I said that he touched his hand and felt that he had a righteous spirit and couldn't you know what I'm saying, get in him or whatever, right? And that's what I think that's what I think that is happening with all of us. I'm getting off track a little bit, but let me get back on into the story where we're going. But okay, Denzel ends up getting involved. A lot of stuff started to happen because he was targeted, and through him finding out that he was targeted, he started to get in a lot of trouble on the job, right? Because everything was setting him up to fail. The whole, you know what I'm saying? Everything that was happening through Azazel, when his spirit was getting into other people, it was setting him up for failure. It was events. It was just certain events were happening that just, you know what I'm saying, made him a fall guy. And that's really it though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I advise everybody who's being targeted to go and check this movie out. You know what I'm saying? It is a documentary in my opinion. It depends on how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? They just do what they do in all movies. They'll substitute one thing for another. You know what I'm saying? To make it a movie and make it fiction. Like they'll say, it's Azazel instead of the FBI. Or they'll say, they'll sing a song instead of, you know what I'm saying, using colors and coughing and stuff like that. You feel me? But throughout that, it was a great movie to me. You know what I'm saying? I watched it a number of times. When I first, found out I was being targeted, it was a movie that I watched and related to a whole lot from what I was experiencing. And I thought it was more of a spiritual thing, which it is. It's a spiritual aspect to why we're being targeted, but we also have to focus on what's being done on the physical plane to get justice on the physical plane too. You know what I'm saying? But is there anything else that I wanted to touch on in the movie that was happening? Let me think. Oh, Denzel ends up, like I told y'all before, when I told a story the other day about me being Gangstalking Texas, right? And I said that when I got hit by the car, I said that if I would have responded to the perps that they were sending at me after I got hit by the car, I would have killed someone who had nothing to do with it. Denzel had an experience just like that. He ended up killing a teacher who was Azel had got in, and he ended up killing the teacher who was targeting him or whatever, and you know what I'm saying. End up that was like the last straw. End up getting they were gonna lock him up for it. You know what I'm saying? So and the guy ended up being an innocent bystander in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's exactly how I explained it. You know, but I watched it last night while they were banging on the walls and banging on the windows and shit like that. But yeah, it was a great movie, man. And look, I'm gonna post up a video too. I was trying to record this video for about 5-10 minutes, but I don't know what they do, but the phone, one of my phones, I know y'all experience it. They put the storage thing on there with like, and nothing's on this phone. I use it to record, so I make sure I don't put anything on there. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about with these people. These people are the biggest fucking haters. And another thing I want to ask you guys, right? Have y'all experienced any noise campaigns on your YouTube videos? Like if you're watching a video that they don't want you to watch, they don't want you to entertain, they'll do a noise campaign in the background, right, of the video. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you may be watching the damn like today I was watching I was watching a live stream from one of a targeted individual, right? And in the background they were making this beeping noise, doing whatever, and I knew it wasn't coming from his live stream, but it was on my end. It was doing that. And it's a lot of videos that if I go on some targets videos, they may have a pot where they're banging on a pot or something in the back, like an extra track on the back over the extra vocal track on the back, where they have tapped into my Wi-Fi and started to do a noise campaign over me watching a YouTube video. Excuse me. If you guys have experienced that, man, hit me up in the comments and let me know. Public enemy number 1, targeted in America, gang stalked in America. Signing out.